Well, go to the gym a lot. The big secret is to undereat. Undereat exercise, laugh a lot, and have unmeasured love in your heart.
And how about the swing? How do you keep the swing?
Well, because if you go to the gym and you exercise your whole body, the body is an amazing thing. We're supposed to go to 100.
What you are about to hear has finally been revealed. At 86, Gary Player, one of golf's greatest legends, is speaking out. He is furious at Augusta National. His son has been banned for life. A sacred Masters moment was hijacked. And a family once celebrated for winning green jackets is now better known for something far more painful. The Masters is not just a tournament. It is a ritual. For those who have won it, the bond with Augusta is supposed to last forever. But for Gary Player, that bond has cracked. And the crack runs deeper than most people know. Quick favor, hit the hype feature and give this video some hype. It really helps. In February 2026, Gary Player went public with his frustration. He had a simple request. He wanted to bring his 3 grandsons to Augusta National for a private round of golf. Just a grandfather and his family walking the most famous fairways in the world. Augusta said no. Player did not take that quietly. He pointed to every other major venue, the courses that have hosted the British Open, the US Open, and the PGA Championship. He said all of them would have said yes. Augusta alone refused. He called it sad. But his sadness quickly turned to anger. Then, he made a claim that turned heads across the golf world. He said that he, Jack Nicklaus, and Arnold Palmer, the famous Big Three, are the reason Augusta is what it is today. His words were blunt. We made Augusta. Critics fired back fast, calling it childish entitlement. And to understand why, you need to know one important fact. Gary Player is not a full member of Augusta National. He is a 3-time champion and an honorary starter, a role he has held since 2012. But honorary starter is not the same as membership. Only full members can invite guests for casual rounds outside of tournament week. Even Tiger Woods holds only honorary member status and still needs a full member present to play a regular round. The only professional golfers ever given full membership were Jack Nicklaus and Arnold Palmer. Gary Player is not on that list. To understand why this tension exploded the way it did, you have to go back to April 2021. That year, the Masters held a ceremony unlike anything it had ever done before. For the first time in history, Lee Elder was invited to stand on the first tee as an honorary starter alongside Nicklaus and Player. Lee Elder was the first African-American man to compete in the Masters back in 1975. He was 86 years old, frail, and unable to hit a tee shot. He sat in a chair, but his presence said more than any speech could. It was a moment of history and healing. And then Wayne Player ruined it. Wayne, Gary's son, was serving as his father's caddy that day. He wore the traditional white Augusta jumpsuit. He stood directly behind Lee Elder as the global broadcast rolled. And for several long minutes, he held a sleeve of Encore golf balls up toward the camera, keeping the branding clearly visible for the audience to see. It was not a mistake. It was not subtle. The golf world had a name for it right away. Ambush marketing. A planned act of commercialism dropped directly into a moment honoring a man who had fought racism and death threats just to play in this tournament. Augusta National, which has some of the strictest rules against commercialism in all of sports, saw the stunt as tacky and premeditated. Within days, Wayne Player was issued a lifetime ban from Augusta National property. For fans who were alive in 1975 and who understand what Lee Elder sacrificed, Wayne's move felt like a slap. He stood behind a hero and used that moment to sell golf balls. The golf community did not forgive it. Augusta did not forget it. The ban was fast. It was total, and it sent one unmistakable message. No one gets a pass at Augusta, not even the son of a legend. Augusta National is unlike any other venue in sports. It does not rely on ticket sales or television money the way most organizations do. That financial independence gives it a kind of power that very few institutions enjoy. It can ignore you completely. When Gary Player began blasting the club in public, Augusta said nothing, not one word. That silence is not weakness. It is strategy. By refusing to engage, the club lets the person shouting look emotional and out of touch. And that is exactly what happened. Chairman Fred Ridley has spoken clearly about what Augusta values: decorum, restraint, a refusal to let golf become like every other entertainment product. The Player family, with its commercial stunts and public fighting, represents everything Ridley is steering away from. Keeping Wayne's ban in place, even while Gary begged publicly for reconsideration, was the club's way of making something very clear. Your legacy earns you respect, but it does not buy you exceptions. The privilege of being at Augusta is conditional. It always has been. Wayne Player's 2021 stunt did not come out of nowhere. He had already built a pattern of bad decisions tied directly to Masters Week. In 2018, Wayne rented a home in Evans, Georgia for 2 nights during the tournament. The rent was $2,000. The check he wrote bounced. He never paid. After repeated attempts to collect, the homeowner sought legal help, and a warrant was issued. In January 2019, Wayne was detained during a layover in Atlanta and spent 5 nights in jail. He later called it 5 nights of hell. The debt was eventually settled and the charges were dropped, but the damage was done. That same year, a client named Todd Feltz paid $6,850 per person for a package Wayne advertised as the Masters Experience. It promised Masters badges, private dinners, and personal meet and greets with Gary Player. None of it was delivered. When Feltz confronted Wayne about it, Wayne pleaded guilty to simple battery, which was later reduced to disorderly conduct. He paid a $300 fine. 2 serious controversies in a single calendar year. Both centered on money that was promised and never delivered. Both connected to Masters Week. By the time Wayne walked behind Lee Elder in 2021, Augusta had already been watching him for years. The fallout did not stop at Augusta's gates. Inside the Player family, things got just as messy. Mark Player, Wayne's own brother, publicly called the stunt tone deaf. He did not make excuses. He condemned it. Gary was then forced to sue his own son and grandson over the unauthorized sale of memorabilia, including his 1974 Masters trophy. In 2022, he was awarded $5 million and had his rights restored. A family fighting in court over championship trophies is not the image Augusta associates with dignity or legacy. None of this has softened with time. In 2023, Gary Player ranked the Masters dead last among the 4 major championships. Many saw it as a jab at Augusta, tied to his bitterness over Wayne's ban. Wayne's lifetime ban is almost certainly permanent. Augusta does not forget, especially when the offense came on one of the biggest stages in golf. Gary Player earned his place in Masters history over decades. 3 green jackets, a roll on the first tee every spring. But it was not enough to protect the family from what Wayne did in 2021. At Augusta, you are always a guest. You are never the owner. That lesson cost the Player family everything. That is the story of one of golf's most painful family sagas. A single sleeve of golf balls held at the wrong moment, in the wrong place, changed everything for the Player family at Augusta. If this story was worth your time, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment below. Was the ban fair, or did Augusta go too far?